our teammate is in serious trouble. We were just out for a night out on the town when all of a sudden things went downhill and I needed to get him some help fast. I ditched the rest of my team, hopped in my car, I'm running red lights, I'm nearly hitting cars, I'm going off the road, but I need to get my teammate to the hospital, and we made it. Eventually, before you knew it, it was the next day. I was pretty much waiting there all day and all night, hoping, praying that my teammate was going to be okay, and we really never got an answer. I was there all day just chilling, and I decided it was finally time to go home. I needed to make it to practice, even though I wanted the best for my teammates. It was time for me to go. I'm hoping, I'm praying he's going to be all right, and we'll find out soon enough what is going to end up happening to our teammate. The doctor said he had a seizure, and if you know anything about those, let's just say they can be deadly. Chances are he might not play out on the pitch the rest of the season, and it's going to be a big loss because we're taking on Juve next, boys. And then, as I mentioned in the last episode, we're getting back in to Champions League play. The second leg against PSG is coming up. And as we get into this one against the Juventus, I'm starting to do something different in these videos. I'm always asking you guys a new question every single episode. And since the Champions League is sort of ramping back up this week, guys, who do you think is going to win the Champions League this year? Put your answer down below in the comment section. And yeah, everyone do that. We'll see which team you maybe gets the most votes down there. Do it. And also, while you're down there, leave a like. We managed to hit 1,000 likes on the next episode, hence why I'm posting this video. So, as always, man, 1,000 likes. Next video is going to be up as soon as possible. Here we go. Juve against Inter Milan. You may recall the last time we took on this side, it was my debut for Inter Milan. We came up against Juve, and now we're back on the pitch once again. This time it's a home game. Let's get into it. 4th minute of action. I had a bunch of chances from headers in this game, and you are going to see so many of them. The first one coming right here in the 5th minute of action. One of the two. Nice header right here, but it was the yellow time to finish, and it just goes out of play. Lingard egging me on right there. Here in the 13th minute is going to be Juve on the attack. We know how deadly they can be in that final third, and they show it off right here. 14th minute is Edison Cavani, the Uruguayan, the PSG transfer. We're going to be playing his former team a little bit later on in today's episode, but Cavani gets the best of us right here with a nice finish, and this from such a tough angle. I didn't think it was going to go in. First time strike. Handanovic in net. You got to do a little bit better than that, son. Look at the net. He left the far post exposed. To be honest, I don't know if you can really blame him. Who would have guessed that Cavani would try to go far post right there from that angle? 18th or 19th minute. This time we finally get the green time finish on a header, but again, it doesn't come off for us. And right here, a chance to do it from our head once again. The diving header of dreams. The third time is the charm. We make it 1-1. The equalizer. That was Van Persie-esque from his header back in the World Cup. 2 World Cups ago he did that, and we're doing it right here. What a freaking goal. The diving header. I don't even think I have the diving header trait equipped, but we still managed to score it. It was a sensational goal right here. Keeper may have been able to do better, but we're going to take that one, and it's the equalizer of dreams. Coming up against Juve, we know they're one of the best teams in the world. Even though we sit higher up in the table than they do, I believe Juve is in 4th place right now, while Inter Milan, top of the table. We knew it was going to be such a difficult and tough game. And the thing is, this game is far from over. We're about to go into the halftime break with the score being 1-1. We had one final chance right here. We get the green time to finish, but our accuracy just isn't too great right now. I think our finishing only around 82, 83 overall. So, yeah, man, that's how the first half would come to a close. And this was definitely a battle, you could tell, of two of the toughest teams, two of the best teams here in Italy. Come down the stretch, even though Juve sits in 4th, I can guarantee they're going to be battling the rest of the way out for that top seed. 1-1 is the scoreline. Who knows? We may even see them a little bit later on in the Champions League. But into the second half we go. We kind of fast forward through all of it because there was no action whatsoever. I hate when that happens, man. I spent all the time recording the gameplay, making these games, and sometimes you just get halves like that, or even games like that where there's no noteworthy highlights to show you guys whatsoever. And I'd rather show you nothing than just dumb highlights of me passing the ball around and taking stupid shots. So that's how this game's gonna end. A 1-1 draw. Could have done better, could have definitely done worse, and against a team like Juve, we're definitely going to take the 1 point out of this game right here. And after this match, it's time to answer a question that so many of you were wondering in the last episode. Well, first off, let's go back to the last episode where something insane happened. If you don't know what it is, you literally haven't been watching this series, and you need to go rewatch the series, rewatch the last few episodes. We got into some trouble, and let's just say things didn't go well, and a lot of you were saying, why weren't you put in jail? Why weren't you arrested? Well, I did actually go to the police, and pretty much what they told me was, since it was in self-defense, I had to go through a few court cases and go through a bunch of paperwork files. But since it was in self-defense, I was pretty much fine, since she had already held me up at gunpoint before. And you know how everything went down. Pretty much it was self-defense. I was trying to get back what was mine. Again, a lot of you may be confused, but for most of you, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And hey, in the end, we're back to normal, kind of. As y'all know, I'm still trying to get over what happened because it was pretty traumatic experience having to go through something like that. We get back into trading though, and it was a long week of trading and preparation for this right here. 0-0 in the first leg against PSG, coming out here in the second leg. Well, you boys know what we need to do. We're heading to France to take on PSG, one of the best teams in the world, on the road. We need a win, or we could actually get a draw right here. As long as we get those away goals, we're gonna end up winning the game, which is, you know, it sounds good, it sounds easy enough, but getting an away goal here at PSG's home crowd in front of their home fans, it's much easier said than done. So with that, let's get into it, boys. We're taking on the likes of Neymar. I think Mbappe still plays for PSG. I could be wrong about that. And then also, if you guys remember, Lewandowski, the newest transfer, that is just insane. Him moving to PSG makes them even more difficult to beat. Those were some of the remaining teams, and those were the results of the first games in the other Champions League matches. So yeah, I guess this is kind of perfect timing because we got the Champions League going on in real life. Of course, if you guys are watching this of the, you know, weekday, whatever, of this being uploaded, Champions League going on in real life, and then of course we have our Champions League going on here as well. It's weird because, like, I always talk in these episodes as if you guys are watching them on the day it's uploaded, but we have so many people that watch my series and like binge watch the series, as right here I'm showing you a little bit of defensive work from Julian Weber. Don't usually show much of that in this series, as it's gonna lead to an attack right here. But yeah, a lot of you guys actually binge these series, and we'll start for one episode, and maybe someone will be watching this like 2-3 years later, just binging every single episode. If you guys haven't done that and you enjoy these videos, like, I highly recommend just going to my playlist page on my channel and watching some of the old My Players series. I mean, if you are waiting for these episodes every single day, you could watch new ones. I have probably over 300 My Player episodes from all my series combined. Honestly, I probably have over 400 or 500 episodes, which is insane to think about. So there's always going to be another My Player, and even if you've seen all the My Players, go back, rewatch them. Chances are you're probably you've watched so many of them, even I forget what has happened in most of my Player episodes, as right here we are going to jump out into a lead right before the halftime break. We got our first shot saved, and then the boy Lingard, who probably has been our MVP this year. I mean, pretty much most of the goal scoring has been done by myself, Gnabry, and then Lingard, the three like dynamic goal scorers on this Inter Milan squad. So yeah, just great way to end the half right here. Rebound goal, which you hate to see, but they happen so often in FIFA, it's hard not to avoid them, because if you miss a shot and it just falls to your teammate, they're going to put it in, because the keepers, they're on the ground or they're just away from the ball. It's such an easy goal to score. That's how the half would come to a close. 1-0, and we now have an away goal, which means in this second half, PSG need to outscore us. They cannot draw this game. They need to win it. A draw for us would be perfect. So if we concede one more goal in this one, we're going to be fine. We'll be moving on, but we're going to try to add on, and it's what we're doing right here. This one nearly saved from the keeper, but in the end, we slide it under his grasp. 2-0 now in the 40 minutes remaining in this one. PSG need to get 3 goals to advance, and look at that celebration, just kind of rubbing it in PSG's faces. I'm going to be a hated man here at PSG. No way in hell are they gonna want me to move to their team after doing that. The freaking disrespect out here, putting it past Silicid right there, the Dutch keeper, the former the former Barcelona keeper right here. Yeah, man, could have been saved, but he just dove a little bit too late. That was kind of my whole plan all along, was to just slot it past the keeper right under his hands. We did well to do so, and in the 59th minute, look at the skill, look at this cross right here. I don't even know how we got that cross off, but we did. We get an assist and we make it 3-0, and even with 30 minutes left, PSG need 4 more goals. There's no way in hell they're gonna be able to do that. What a dominant second half from this Inter Milan squad. And yeah, man, a goal and an assist in this half is going to be enough to move us to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. So yeah, man, sensational stuff right there for Inter Milan. In the last episode, I talked about moving clubs and how, I asked you guys to let me know in the comments where we should potentially move to come next season. And I never really referenced staying at Inter Milan. I know a lot of people comment, hey man, why don't you stay at a club for more than a season? I feel like it just gets old and repetitive. I know I've said it in the past, but you know, staying at the same club is very boring for me, man, to do the same thing over again. And when you have a new club, you can think of new storylines, and there's just so much more you could do at new clubs, which is why we tend to leave every single year. But we'll see what happens, man. Let's just focus on this season and make our decisions when that is over. And after this game, boys, we had some interesting news. Pretty much, I left the stadium the next morning, and I had a chat with a man that you probably won't recognize. This is Neymar's agent. And pretty much, he said that Neymar wanted to meet with me and talk about some secrets moving forward, potentially playing with each other. I didn't really know what to do, because I'd also promised my teammate, my friend at the beginning of the episode, that I would come chill with him at the hospital as he recovers. So this is a crazy decision. Do we go meet with Neymar, which could be a huge opportunity, or do we head and live up to our promise and go hang out with our teammate who's struggling in the hospital? It's up to you guys. This is a very tough vote that is going to be very impactful on what happens in the next episode. Vote top right hand corner. You guys know what to do. 1,000 likes and you'll find out your answer soon enough.